I'm just following my orders here. Anyway, I just think that there are other things on leaders' minds, and they respond to what's needed at the time. And look, nobody likes having celebrated international meetings if you don't know what you want at the meeting. If you don't have a game plan. He may have a game plan. He just hasn't shared it with me. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
It's President Joe Biden overseas over the weekend at a news conference where it's ended with Karine Jean-Pierre grabbing the microphone and saying, no, this is over, but then he continued to take more questions. You couldn't really hear the questions. It was kind of a bizarre exchange when you hear the president say that he's just taking orders and then he's going to go to bed. Welcome back, Springfield's Morning News. Would love to hear from you at 217-629-7970. Your thoughts on this, but also revisiting what Governor J.B. Pritzker had to say last week when he was asked about standing by Biden despite more people, including Democrats, worried about whether or not Joe Biden is fit for office.
Well, the choice is not between, nobody and Joe Biden. The choice is between whoever the Republicans pick out of that lineup, the smorgasbord of extremism that we've seen from that side of the aisle, and Joe Biden. And let's face it, Joe Biden's gotten more done in 2.5 years as president than most presidents get done in 8 years. And it's because of his experience. So people can talk about age, but let's also talk about experience, working together, bringing Republicans and Democrats together, because most of those bills passed with bipartisan support. And it takes somebody whose leadership is as, vaunted and successful as Joe Biden's to really take this country forward, especially in a divided environment.
So I'll get your calls here in a moment, but I talked with State Representative Blaine Wishauer, a Republican from Beecher City, to get his response to Governor J.B. Pritzker, talking about the, quote, smorgasbord of extremists on the Republican side, but really just a direct response to the governor's comments saying that he stands by President Joe Biden despite more people being worried about the president's fitness. So again, here's State Representative Blaine Wishauer.
Yeah, our silver spoon governor's out of touch. I mean, tell the common working person who's seen the cost of survival double because of the policies of Biden and Pritzker, the inflationary policies. We've gone from under Trump, relative peace around the world, energy dominance, rising wages for blue-collar and minority workers, and now we're back to forever wars in places the U.S. shouldn't be, out-of-control costs at the pump and the grocery stores, and decreased opportunities for the blue-collar workers that I represent. So as far as I'm concerned, JB can have the Biden economy. I'll take the Trump economy all day, every day.
So it seems that Wishauer is more concerned about policy than he is about age.
Yes, obviously. I mean, sure, Biden's clearly got mental deficiencies. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. But, there's a lot of people that are his age that are very robust. Trump, for one, is, totally different mentally than what Biden is. Even when, even in the years when Biden was young, he was very gaffe-proof and prone and everything else.
So Wishauer also talking about how the governor claims that Republicans are a smorgasbord of extremism. What's his reaction to that?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to call extremism, rising wages for blue-collar workers, peace around the world, and, protecting students in classrooms and things like that, if you want to call that extreme, I guess it is. But I would, call abortion on demand and, crazy gender policies where you can't even, say who's a boy and who's a girl. I would call that stuff extreme.
So let's get your calls now at 217-629-7970. You can also email me, bishoponair@gmail.com, but get those calls lined up. Again, 217-629-7970. That's the phone number. Governor J.B. Pritzker calling Republicans a smorgasbord of extreme, saying that he stands by President Joe Biden for all the things he's done, but others saying that the president's policies have really made the country worse off. Would like to hear from you. Good morning. You're on WMAY. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think Republicans ought to be called extremism. It's what's causing it is this arguing and bickering like abortion, gun control, and just this recent assault weapons ban and high-capacity magazines. I think that's taken it too far, and it's not going to affect crime. It's going to make other people suffer. And like what's going up in Chicago, they got a migrant problem. They need to do is keep, that city closed to the migrants because they're the ones that are going to cause problems. And America needs to worry about America, not what's going down in Mexico or other countries. We need to first focus what's going on in this country.
Got you down. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Commenter on YouTube says extremism. This guy's trying to go against almost every constitutional law there is. So getting your comments here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more conversation to be had about all of this. But when you hear the former vice president, now president of the United States, talk about how he's taking orders and is getting a little tired. What do you think about this? Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Good. Yourself?
Not too bad. I find the whole Biden situation just sad. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Obviously, he does have issues, and the way the press conferences are orchestrated, and it's just a sad situation.
Well, when you see the former president, Donald Trump, take question after question after question practically every time he left the White House, every time he got back to the White House, he would show up in the White House press briefing room and take questions. It just seems like a total night and day difference from Joe Biden. He really hasn't sat down for those lengthy types of questions.
Because he can't. And it's obvious to everyone. So to sweep it under the rug and saying there's no problem, he's, just as competent as he was. You can look at the tapes of the man.
Yeah,
so
let's go ahead and hear it again from over the weekend in Vietnam.
I'm just following my orders here. Anyway, I just think that there are other things on leaders' minds, and they respond to what's needed at the time. And look, nobody likes having celebrated international meetings if you don't know what you want at the meeting. If you don't have a game plan. He may have a game plan. He just hasn't shared it with me. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
All right. So, yeah, the president over the weekend saying he's going to bed. But the president will be in Alaska to recognize the 22nd anniversary of September 11th. So, obviously, again, we're a year and a month or so away from the November 2024 election. There's going to be a lot said about Biden's fitness and policies and